Hey guys, what's up? I'm a mess. I am like I look like a mess. I am exactly as much of a mess as I look like. My brother died a couple of weeks ago. My little brother James, not little. I mean, we're grown, but the funeral was the other day. It was I think it was last Friday. I Last week my boss said that he didn't care if I showed up at all that week, so I didn't. And this week we had a winter storm, and so the boss couldn't get to work, and uh, we were probably going to lose a few days anyway because we had some ice, we had like an ice storm, and later in the week it's supposed to be pretty messy. So I've been out of work for a couple of weeks, and I'm kind of happy about it, honestly. It's weird. I didn't realize how close I was to my brother. Uh, I keep watching like YouTube shorts and stuff, and I'll think just for a second, I'll be like, oh, I should send that to James because that's funny, or he would like that, or whatever. And then I remember, oh, I can't, he's dead. And it's like the more time goes by, the more I realize like a lot of the things that I liked because of him, you know, and a lot of things I like a lot of things like just kind of feel pointless now. Like we had plans, like a lot of plans, and all of those are kind of gone now, sort of. I mean, I could keep going with it, but like part of the reason I was doing it was because I liked doing these things with him, or I was looking forward to, you know, doing these plans and things with him. And now it's like doing them alone or with my youngest brother. It's different, you know. It's not really the same. There's a lot of things like that. Um, I didn't go to the funeral. I went down to my brother's house. He had a little apartment, and my mom was there. She drove up from Florida. My sister didn't come. My other brother didn't come, but my mom and my youngest brother were there, and my best friend growing up, and James's best friend growing up, uh, drove over. He drove like 5.5 hours to get here, and he was really helpful. He started a GoFundMe for James, to cover the cost of the funeral and everything, and a lot of people donated. And and the funeral was huge. Like a ton of people showed up. My brother worked at Walmart, so a lot of his coworkers showed up. I mean, I was hearing this from my family because I didn't go. Uh, I just did. I didn't want to be sad anymore, so I didn't go. But I did go down there and help pack up all of the stuff in the apartment because the landlord's got to find somebody else to live in the apartment now. And I helped pack everything up, and my family went to the funeral, and then they came back and helped me finish packing. I was there until like, gee, 3 in the morning or something. After the funeral, my friend uh, took us all out to eat. Um, the funeral was long because my mom said that like a ton of people just went up and went up on the thing or whatever, and everybody wanted to talk about James, and somebody apparently went up there twice. And I've literally just been sitting around drinking since it happened. Uh, I woke up at like noon this today. I'm a little bit tipsy now. It's I haven't even been awake that long. But I was anyway. I was listening to a podcast. I'm not going to say which one because I mean I don't have any problems with this guy, but they were talking about AI and automation and AI and robotics and how the world's changing and all that. And this guy was saying that he was really worried that the world was going to uh, be, be automated and people wouldn't have anything to do, and uh, and they wouldn't have any purpose in their life because they wouldn't be working. And I've made a video about this before. I've probably made a few videos talking about this. I don't even remember. But that doesn't really make any sense to me. And I if you think that automating everything or as much stuff as we can would take purpose away from people's lives, please get in the comments and tell me why. 'Cause, like make this make sense for me. I'm being genuine. Like I'm not gonna be mean or anything. I'm like I don't know stuff. I like learning from you guys. I like getting people's feedback and I like getting people's thoughts about things and people's insights. I'm not a genius. I don't know everything. I change my mind about things all the time. Like throughout my life, I've had things that I thought were pretty strong stances for me, and I would just get new information, and all of a sudden, what I used to think didn't make any more sense. It didn't make sense anymore. And so it like really if you have some insight on this, or you have a different perspective, or you know something that I don't, please let me know in the comments because I am so confused about this. Here's my thing, and this might be kind of a long video. I don't know how this is going to go really. To be real, I don't know if I care how this goes really. I'm just kind of making this video on a whim because I was walking around the house pacing and talking to myself, and I figured I might as well talk to my phone. But here's my thing though, is like my brother who died could have spent more time with his kid and probably made the video game that he wanted to make if he didn't have to work so much. And like you don't think he would have gotten purpose or meaning or whatever out of that? Like if you're going to make the argument that people get purpose out of working and that's why everybody needs to work all the time, define what purpose means. Like what purpose are you talking about? I think that he would have gotten more purpose or whatever out of being with his family and doing the things that he wanted to do than he got out of working at freaking Walmart. You know what I mean? And at the funeral, a lot of his coworkers showed up, and people loved James a lot. And he did, make people's days better. Um, but he could have done that without working at Walmart. You know what I mean? He had type 1 diabetes, and he still had to work 40 hours a week to pay for everything. And you would think that at a certain point we would just have enough workers. You would think that at a certain point people with like legitimate illnesses could just stay home and just stay home and have some money. Like you would think that we have enough money to that everybody doesn't need to be contributing to the economy constantly. I don't think that people realize how outdated everything is. Like the education system is outdated. It was designed to get people ready to work in a world that doesn't, like, the world has changed since then. It was designed this way a long time ago, you know. And when I was in school, they were still teaching us the food pyramid. The 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 justice system is obviously outdated, I think. I mean, we have prisons, but we invented prisons before we invented psychology, you know. A lot of the people who are in prison are in there for, like, weed or something, which is legal in like 15 states at least. Um or they're in prison because they committed a crime because they were desperate for money. The only people I think that we need to separate from society are the insane people, like the psychopathic people and people like that. And that's what psychology's for. Like, they don't need to be in prison, they need help. A lot of these people who are in prison, they just needed help. They just need help. And we have this idea, like, that, like, if you do something wrong you need to be punished, but, like, do you really? Like, is punishment really that helpful? Like, is it logical? I mean, I guess it gives you some closure or something, but, like, is it actually productive, really? Really, a lot of things are just outdated. And people say, like people are worried about the value of the dollar, the value of currency and inflation and all this stuff. But, like, how valuable is a piece of paper with some numbers on it, really? Guys, we made this shit up. We made it up. Like, it's not valuable. And people say that, like, it used to be valuable because it used to be backed by gold, or whatever. But, guys, like, we made that shit up too. Like, what are you gonna do with a brick of gold, really? I mean, you could make it into small pieces and make fishing weights out of it, and they would be pretty good for that, I think, probably. But, like, gold's really not that useful. It's pretty, but it's not really useful. This is gonna sound wild, but I don't think that we need money anymore as a society. I think that money is holding us back. I think that it was a useful tool, but I don't think we need it anymore. In fact, I think it's counterproductive. I think probably the only real use case that money has anymore is making rich people feel special. I think that it's a good idea to keep a way to measure value, but we could just make a tier system or slap a number on it, We don't need money. I think it's outdated. And it probably sounds crazy to a lot of people, but, like, think about it though. People say, that, like, it would be impossible to change society in these big ways, like take away money, take away prisons, uh, you know, change the way that we educate each other because we have the freaking internet now and AI now. But like, guys, we are all adults. Like, we are the adults. Like, probably, if you're watching my channel, you're probably an adult. I'm an adult. We are the ones that have to do the stuff. It doesn't really matter how hard it is. It's necessary to do stuff that makes sense. And if something's not working, we have to fix it. It like it. it's not even a responsibility, it's a necessity. Like, we have to do the thing. We are the adults. There is nobody else to do it. So I was watching this podcast earlier, and I was listening to this guy say that, like, people need to work in order to have purpose or whatever. And part of me thinks that people just say that because it sounds clever, or like it sounds good. They hear somebody else say it and it sounds like something that makes sense, so they just repeat it. And this guy had a podcast, right? So yeah, like um maybe he gets purpose or meaning in life out of that, fine. But like, you're trying to tell me that um that everybody else needs to work their jobs at Walmart or McDonald's or a factory or whatever. Everybody else needs to work these jobs. Like, I need to work my job making sandbags or whatever, because that's how I'm going to get meaning out of life. I don't think most people who work, you know, at Walmart or whatever, I don't. If you could make a robot to do their job, I don't think that they would mind. Like, I really don't think that they would lose meaning in their life if a tool did a job better than they did. Like, I don't feel like I'm getting any meaning out of my job, to be real, because honestly, my high school robotics club could probably make a robot to do my job. And they probably wouldn't even pay them. They would probably make it like a school project or something. People want each other to have to work so bad that it doesn't even make sense, like from a practical standpoint. Like, I was talking to my therapist the other day, and I told him that I was thinking about applying to disability. And he said, well, that's going to be next to impossible for you to qualify for anything because you work. Like, if you can work, then, you're not really disabled. And people, it feels like people will do anything to keep from giving me some money, or anybody else. Like my brother, he had type 1 diabetes. Why was he working 40 hours a week? You know what I mean? Like, just hand out some money. It I don't understand why everybody's so penny pinching. And it's like the economy's so messed up as it is that it doesn't even make sense. And these people are acting like society would just collapse if half of us didn't go to work. I don't think it would. I think it's collapsing anyway, because we keep trying to do it this way, and it's not working. And it's certainly not going to work soon, because we're going to have the tools to make ourselves obsolete. They're making human shaped robots with AI brains. It's like, what do we need ourselves for? And people like me with PTSD and clinical depression still have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, walk the dogs, and go to work to fill up sandbags. Like, there's people that really, really need disability, that are in like physical pain, that don't get it for years because they're so stingy. Why? Is society going to miss them so bad that they couldn't just stay at home? Like, we all knew that there was going to be a point when technology got so good that it was going to make us obsolete. We just thought it would be like farther in the future and we would have time to figure this stuff out. it doesn't really matter. Like, we're kind of at that point, or we're getting really close, really fast. And like, nobody's telling you that you can't work. Like, if you get some kind of fulfillment or whatever out of working, then go help the fucking robots, man. Go help society somehow. Go clean up the trash on the side of the road, or go help a animal shelter, or go start a garden and feed people. Like, start making dog food and give it away. What people are saying is that it's not that we can't work anymore. Like, there's always something to do. You know what I mean? It's just getting to the point where we're going to have the tools to make it so that people don't have to work anymore. Practically, from a practical standpoint, I'm a little bit worried that, like, societally, like, people might try to stop it from being that way because they're scared of something. Sorry, I had to burp. Something, but like what? What are you worried about? It reminds me of John Henry. There's this folk hero in American folk stuff named John. I think his name was John Henry. He worked on railroads or something. They made a machine that did his job really well, and he raced it in the story to prove that the hard work of humans is better than the machine doing their job or whatever. And in the story, he died trying to outrun this machine. And it's supposed to be like a sad thing, you know, like, oh no, humanity's not going to have to work anymore. We're going to make machines to do all this crap. But like, he could have just been like, oh, good, I'll go do something else. Like, let the machine do it, you know? I feel like we have just a bunch of John Henrys walking around worried about automation and AI and stuff, but like, because it's going to make life better? Anyway, I've probably rambled enough. Like and subscribe, I guess, if you want to help me in the channel. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.